Hello you fabulous people, welcome back to another day, another video. Today I'm going to go over what I believe is a way to improve the changes that the PTB brought. Well, not bringing because they reverted the changes. But I believe they are good changes, but they need to be changed somehow. So if you don't know the changes that are in the 9.2 PTB for Dead by Daylight is, first off, the Unhook Protection update. The survivors get 30 seconds of protection, haste, endurance, and elusive, which hides grunts of pain, aura, scratch marks, and pools of blood. No collision of players reveals the aura within 32 meters, immunity to killer instinct, immunity to AFK close. They linger for 3 seconds after being healed, and are last when you do a conspicuous action. The evasive effect is last when all generators are completed, and survivors are still susceptible to powers and attack. Now, how I would change that one is just make it so that that buff lasts for 10 seconds, and that's it. Just keep the rest of the effects, but make it so that the buff just lasts for 10 seconds, and not more, because otherwise it's too powerful. Next, we have the hook status update. When you are hooked, the killer cannot see when you are unhooked or how long you still have to be on the hook. My change for this is just to scrap this entire thing, remove it. Because information is a valuable perk to have, and it's base game, so take it. Just remove it. Now, they wanted to implement a unique hook bonuses by giving buffs to the killer like 20% bonus to the next damage generator, 10% haste for 15 seconds, reveal all survivors outside of 40 meters for 4 seconds. When you hook a survivor that is different from the last hook. But the Blight, Dark Lord, Ghoul, Hillbilly, Krasu, Nurse, they only get 10% bonus to the next generator, 5% haste, but the same aura reveal effect. Now, these effects are disabled for when all generators are completed, but it sucks. It sucks. It just straight up sucks. It's awful. So, what I plan to do is keep the current unique hook buffs, but remove it completely for the Nurse, Blight, Hill, Billy, Ghoul, Singularity. But a buff is, so remove it for all of those killers. And a buff to be added to the unique hooks is when a killer damages a generator with that bonus, it won't be that generator that's affected, but the generator with the most progress on it. Also, they should remove the debuffs that... And also, another change they want to implement is that when a survivor dies before 6 hooks, all survivors get a 25% repair speed bonus for the entirety rest of the match, and you cannot damage generators. Massive debuff. I don't know why they did this. It's a stupid debuff. Duas. Duas means box in Afrikaans, and it also means stupid, so because your head is empty like a box. There's some fun facts. So what I want to do is, for the survivor side, let's start there, okay? So first off, when a survivor dies, no matter when, they get 20% bonus repair speed, but for each generator that is repaired, that 20% gets reduced by 5%. So let's say someone dies at 5 gens, you get 20% bonus repair speed, but when a generator is completed, that goes down to 15. Now, another thing I want to implement is that when there are only 2 survivors remaining, they get a 10% bonus generator repair speed, purely because it incentivizes survivors to do gens when there is only 2 of them left. Because normally, like it is now, when there are only 2 survivors left and one of them is being chased, I'm not doing a generator. I'm hiding in a locker. Not me personally, but other survivors. And with the unique hooks, I thought of a lovely buff we can get to the killers. They can get a debuff to generators by 3, 6, 12 and 24% for each first hook. But when a survivor dies, you lose this entire buff. Well, debuff for the survivors. I just think it incentivizes to go for the different characters and hook them first to get that 3, 6, 12 and 24% debuff. Just because it's quite a nice effect to have, because it slows down the game just by a smidge. In this update, they also wanted to improve slugging by removing it completely. When you are in the dying state, a recovery bar appears. When it fills up to 90 seconds, you can recover yourself. This lasts between down states, keep that in mind. Once the bar is filled, you can pick yourself up, and this is just enabled. Awful changes. Now, Mintskull, a YouTuber I love to watch, and hij heeft zulke aantrekkelijke stem. It means he has a nice voice. He did a video on these changes, and he's so passionate, and I love his video, so go and check him out. Shout out to him. But what it entails for the slugging one, which I quite liked, is that if you crawl, you don't recover, and if you stay still, you recover. Now, what I want to add to that is that because they removed the delay when you get down to start recovering, they removed that. They should put that back in, and also, the 90 seconds don't stay between each down, but when the 90 seconds is reached, you can fully recover no matter what. This just incentivizes, don't leave them on the ground for 90 seconds, because it's quite a long time and it resets each time, except for when the 90 seconds is reached. I cannot speak for the Michael Myers changes, because I do not have him, I do not play him, so... But let's get into the perk changes, shall we? Now, Babysitter got a rework of you see the killers and survivors order for 12 seconds. Borrowed time, you get 12 additional seconds to the protection buffs. Clairvoyance, order reading is increased to 12 seconds, friendly competition. Cooldown, you get the bonus repair speed for 2 minutes. Hope, decreased movement speed to 5% was 7. No Miver, you do not make grunts of pain anymore. Off the record, no longer gets the endurance effect, but you do not leave scratch marks while sprinting, and it is removed when the exit gates are powered. Leader bonus speed is increased to 30%, and range to 10 meters and not 8. Lucky Star, cooldown has been reduced to 25 seconds. Pharmacy has got a buff to really open chest 125% faster. And the distance the killer can hear them is reduced by 12, and you get a guarantee medkit upon completing the interaction. Plot Twist got an effect where the recovery speed is increased by 25%, which is an awful idea. They should remove it, revert it back to what it was. I'll put it here in my perks one for survivors. Poised, when repairing a generator for the first time, you can see the killer's order. For 8 seconds. And when you leave said generator, after the generator is completed, you do not leave any scratch marks for 30 seconds. Quite nice. Quick Camera got a cooldown decrease to 40 seconds. Tenacity is another one I dislike. So they decrease the crawling speed bonus to 25%, which is quite good because you can move faster with the new update. I forgot to mention that, my apologies. So this is quite a good change. But it also prevents your order from being read while in the dying state. Now with the changes I want to implement, I want them to revert it back to where they can crawl and recover, but keep the speed at which the tenacity is in this patch notes. And Vigil does not stack anymore. Nice changes. Onto the killer perks, we have All Shaking Thunder. They got All Shaking Thunder got an increase in the duration you can use the perk on 25 seconds. Nurse's Calling got an increasing range up to 32 meters. You can see survivors. Barbican Chili no longer works like it used to because it's now base game in this patch notes. But in Damage Generator, it takes off 5% more after looking all survivors once. I'll say make that 7 and it'll be fine. Dead Man Switch, decreased generator blocking duration to 35 seconds. Quite a good one. Dark Arrogance, decrease the blind and spell stun duration increase to 15 seconds. To 15%. Such a nice buff. It was 25. Such a nice one. Dear Stalker got a rework. When a survivor sees your aura, you see their aura for every 30 seconds. Reveal your aura to the survivor with the lowest chase time for 3 seconds. Lovely change. Keep that, but I also want the old Deer Stalker effect where you can see the survivors on the ground. Eruption of the decreasing generator loss to 5%. Hex Ruin got an increase to generator regression to 150%. Lovely buff. Leverage got a decrease to the healing speed reduction to 30%, but it got an increase in how long it lasts to 60 seconds. Monitor and Abuse got an awful change that nerfs a bunch of killers for no good reason. If you run this perk. It's now working on percentages. When you're in a chase, your terror radius increases by 15%. Otherwise, it's 25%. Change that back to meters, please, but keep the higher amount for out of chase than in chase. I prefer that one, because the meters are so much better for the killers with a lower percentage of cellular radius. Pop Goes the Weasel, decrease generator progress loss to 15%. Oppression now affects 4 generators and has a lower cooldown of 35 seconds. Scourge Pain Resonance. Decrease generator loss progress to 12%. Make that 15 and will be golden. Septic Touch, increase the linger duration of blinders at exhausted sales effect to 30 seconds. Nice one. Ultimate Weapon, increase range when opening a locker to 40 meters. Reduce cooldown to 45 seconds. Nice changes overall. Perks got a few nice buffs, I like them. But the main one is the unhook, unique hooks, and slugging. I quite like the changes I made. I would love to hear your guys' opinions. So, please tell me you like it, you don't like it, you wanna kill me. I don't care. Axley Frilla Almal. Tot ziens. And do like and subscribe and leave the comments.